Okay, welcome back, guys, to Far Cry 4, or welcome to Far Cry 4. Uh-oh. Evil people. Let's try shooting with arrows. Damn it. I need ammo. My other gun. This is not a good start. Anyway, okay, so I'm here talking about Far Cry. I'm here playing. Burn. Okay. Yes, I'm here playing Far Cry 4, and I'm going to be talking about The Walking Dead. Yes, The Walking Dead. So we are in season 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm not good at keeping track at all these seasons. I've got no more space for anything. Yeah, I'm not great at keeping up to date with all these seasons, so I'm basically I'm talking about up to date. You'll know what point I'm talking about. So I'll say again, spoiler alert, if you're not up to date, don't listen. Go watch the show, get up to date, and then come back and listen to this. The show starts back, I think Feb. Not 100% sure when. I'm pretty sure it's Feb. So basically what I'm wanting to do is just do a quick type of recap and just tell you guys, talk about what happened. So basically, the start of this season, we've just had everything happen with the governor. They're out of, they've got nowhere to, at trading posts. They've got nowhere to go. They've got nowhere to stay. They've lost their home. They're out of the jail. They don't know what to do with themselves because everything is. This is high up. I think I want to go here. No, I want to go here. Yep. Oh, I can fast travel there. Even better. Yeah, so basically where it's ended is that they've been driven out of the prison. They've got nowhere to go. So they're looking for a place to stay. They then on these following these tracks, trying to get to terminal, which is what they think is a safe place for them to be. They think there's a civilization there. They think people are there for safety and protection, and basically they want to go. Basically, they want to go to terminal to live, and that's basically what they want to do. So they go to terminal, but they find out that it's actually a place where people find the captors. The captors capture these people and hold them against their will, and end up killing them to eat them and take all their food and all that sort of stuff. So that's basically where we're at. They at the end of season 4, I think it was. Yeah, season 4. Pretty sure it's season 4. At the end of season 4, we leave it at they're stuck in the train thing, and basically Rick goes, they don't know who they're messing with, and wants to go all vengey thing on them, and basically bloody hell, wants to go all vengeance on them and kill them all. So this is where it starts. Basically, they fight. They fight their way out. They escape successfully. None of their guys die. A lot of the other people's guys die, and they get with a lot of help from Carol. Carol basically saved their ass, even though. Let's do a mission. Even though they kicked her out and were like, oh, go away, we don't want you here, and stuff like that. She basically saved their ass and helped them get out. They then get reunited with her and Tyrese, as well as Judith, the baby, which I'm surprisingly enough, I honestly didn't think that it would last this. Like, they'd keep a baby in the show for this long, because it's a post-apocalyptic world. How exactly you're supposed to keep a baby alive and without it causing more trouble than what you need. So they basically get reunited with her, and then they basically are on the road again, they're on the road again, trying to find somewhere safe to live. As they're going through, they run into a pastor called Pastor Gabriel. He's getting attacked by walkers. He has no weapons, and he's like cowering on a rock and screaming and stuff, and they come in and rescue him. They then come, and he then says, oh, I want to join your group. Can you let me join your group, and all that sort of stuff. And then we see an example of them using their questions to find out more about Gabriel, to see, okay, is he going to be good for the group? He's going to be bad for the group. And he answers all the questions, and they find it a little hard to believe that this guy hasn't killed a walker, hasn't killed a person, has basically done nothing. So they're like, okay, they're a little suspect of him, but in the end, they're okay with him. They go, okay, you can join the group, take us to where you're staying. I should kill that guy first. Basically, you can join the group, take us to where you are staying. You can join the group, take us where you're staying, and then we'll take it from there. What's happening? Getting shot from somewhere? Bang. Got him. So that's basically what they end up deciding to do, is just go, all right, we'll go back to your thing and that sort of stuff. So that's what happened. What's the point that's at there. In the meantime, there's some other things going on. Oops, don't want to be detected. Basically there's some other things going on in terms of the other group. The group they fought at Terminus is kind of on their way to find Rick and all that sort of stuff. But the main people are at the they're at the church. And then basically Eugene's group is like, we need to go to DC because we need to save save the world because Eugene has a cure for the disease. So then from there we're like, okay, so they need to go to DC, blah blah blah, and they kind of go to DC, or they want to go to DC, but Rick doesn't want them to leave because he needs the manpower to hold up, because he knows that these other people, the Terminus people, are following them. So he's like, no, you need to stay, you need to help, because we need your help. We need to help protect and survive. Then the Terminus people end up coming. They end up killing the Terminus people, and then Eugene and that end up going to start heading towards DC. We then find out that Eugene actually doesn't know how to stop the cure. He just knows how to lie very well, and he ended up tricking Abraham into taking him, because he's like, oh, I'm smarter than you. I know how to lie, so I lied to you because I'm not really useful for anything apart from that. So, that's that part of the story, and then they're on their way back to meet up with everybody else. So, damn. I'm not good at that at all. So basically that's where that is at. They're on their way back to meet up with Rick and all that sort of thing. The other story that branches off for this is that in the last season, Daryl lost Beth. She got captured by this car, and he's been trying to find her. So we basically follow on from there, and she's been captured by this hospital filled with policemen and all that sort of thing. And she's been made to, do work and do her own and stuff like that, but they're treated badly, so she wants to escape. She tries to escape, ends up killing a few people, but that's what happens with Beth at the hospital. They then, Daryl and Carol end up finding out where she is, and goes back to get reinforcements to help take over the hospital. He then gets the reinforcements and stuff and goes back to the hospital and fights, and then they fight their way in. They fight their way in, and they get Carol, and they're doing a hostage exchange. But this is where it all goes wrong. The hostage exchange goes all wrong because the head cop lady doesn't want them to leave, basically, because she still thinks that there's hope, and that they can, if they stick together, they'll get through everything, and that, everything will be fine. Everything will work out well. There'll be a cure and that sort of stuff. But Rick's like, no, there's not going to be a cure. We've been to the CDC, all that sort of stuff. There's no cure. We're basically, all we can do now is survive. So that's more, and then she doesn't take it all to that too kindly. So she ends up trying to capture one of the kids that were there that helped save Beth. But then Beth tries to save him, and as she's trying to save and wrestle the lady, she turns around and shoots Beth in the face. Completely out of nowhere, by the way. Like, it was something that was not expected at all. It wasn't like how people normally get killed and it kind of like builds up to it. It's just all of a sudden she gets shot. There's just a gunshot and Beth is dead. Rick then very promptly shoots the cop in the face, like you would, because she's killed one of his own, so he very promptly shoots her in the face, and then basically just said to the rest of the cops, everyone who's there is like, anyone who wants to come with us, come now. You don't have to stay here. We're leaving. Anybody tries to mess with us, we're going to shoot you. We're going to kill you. We're not going to hesitate because you killed one of our own, so you're not getting away with this type of thing. And then the episode ends with Daryl carrying Beth out, Maggie seeing Beth. Daryl bringing Beth out, and that's dead. And then Maggie sees Beth dead and just breaks down into tears, and it's one of the saddest things I've seen from the show. And I'd have to say, great acting when it comes to with the girl who plays Maggie. I don't remember what her name is, but I have to say it was great acting. It was so emotional, and the look on her face just kind of made it even more emotional, because it was like, based on the timeline, or the theoretical timeline that people have with Walking Dead, is that basically everything that happened in this season happened over 2 or 3 days, which what happened a few days before, like 4 or 5 days before Beth dying, was Herschel died, which is Maggie's dad. So she's basically lost the rest of her family in the matter of a few days, which is, would be upsetting to anybody. But the emotion that she has was so strong, and it was such a great scene. Not in terms of, oh, someone died, so it's a great scene. No, it was a good scene in terms of the acting that was involved in it. So, sell one by one. Yeah, in terms of the acting and that, the acting was fantastic in that episode. So, excuse me. Yeah, the episodes were, it was great acting. So that's basically what happened this season up to date. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, I basically just told you the whole season, so you can start back now to normal Walking Dead. What was also shown was a guy. We were shown a guy which we know to being as Morgan. He was either leaving exes, or he was following exes to somebody. Don't know if someone was leaving the exes for him, but he was either following the exes or leaving the exes as like a tracking thing or whatever. But yeah, that's basically that was basically what we saw in part of the season. So the reason why I mentioned that now is because this is where I think the season is going. I think because they've heard a radio and what happened in the hospital, I think what they're going to do now is they're going to they need to find somewhere to live. There's no doubt about that. They need to go somewhere. They need to find somewhere to live and to survive. As far as they know, there's nowhere that's safe. And he actually mentioned that at some point to Carl, is that there's nowhere that's safe. No matter what you think, no matter where you are, you'll never be safe. Which, okay, you don't really want to say that to your kid. Ooh, I'm getting shot at by somewhere. Anyway, yeah, you don't really want to say that to your kid. You don't want to say to them, "Hey, kid, there's no hope. So if you think you're safe, you're not safe. There's no hope." What's going on? It's beeping. Gone too fast. Yeah. So you don't really want to say to your kid, "Hey, kid, there's no hope. So who cares? Do whatever you want," type of thing. You don't want to say that to your kid. But anyway, that's pretty much what we know of. That he thinks that there's no hope. There's nothing that they can do. Life as they know it is what they know of it now. Land. Yeah, life as they know it now is it. Like, that's it. There's no positives. There's nothing. They're just life. Their life now is their life now. So I think they're probably going to go to Washington because that's really the only thing that they have going for them, is going to Washington. So even though there's no QR and the road was kind of blocked up, because they've got more people now, they might be able to get through it a little easier, or a little better. But it's kind of hard to say where they're planning on going. At some point, they're gonna have to meet up with Morgan, because that's just what makes sense, really. Yeah, so that's basically what I reckon is that where they're going to go. Is they're going to meet up with Morgan, and he's going to know somewhere, and they're going to go to a community. I can't remember exactly what it's called in the comic books, but basically there's this community that they go to, this fenced off community that's like a safe haven for them. That ends up being a safe haven for them. Obviously what happens is it gets overrun, and for the story to continue, it gets overrun, they break through the fence, and all this other stuff happens and all that sort of thing. But that's where I think they're going to go to next, which I'm excited about, because for one, I don't know what they're going to do with Lilith, because she's not at Judith, sorry, not Lilith, that's a different show. Judith, the baby, I don't know what they're going to do with the baby, because she's been in here for a while, and who knows what's actually going to happen, because she's not in the comic books. She dies at the prison in the comic books, so who knows what's actually going to happen with Judith. So that part of it I'm very interested in, because who knows what's going to happen with her. But yeah, so that will be interesting. But also, the interesting thing that happens at this... Hold on, let me just kill this guy real quick. Save the hostage. So, yeah, and so what happens with... untie. And what happens at this community place is that Carl gets shot in the face. Now, he doesn't actually die. He survives, but he loses half of his face. Now, him being a kid, in comic books, it's fine, because, you know, well, it's not fine that a kid gets shot in the face, but it's fine that he gets... that they can show it in the comic book, because it's a comic book. But on TV, it's a little different. You can't really show a kid getting shot like that in the face. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh yeah, but they did that to Sophia and the girl in the first episode, you know, they shot her in the head and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they can do that, but the thing is that they can't show a kid getting shot in the face, but they can show a zombie kid being shot in the face. That's fine, because it's not technically a real kid, if that makes sense. It's a little kind of difficult to kind of tell where the line is, because it's not really defined, because it's kind of just, you can't show a kid getting shot on TV. I know in movies it's an automatic R rating if it actually is shown a child getting killed or shot in the head. TV, I'm assuming it follows the same rules, but in terms of what you would classify as a kid, whereas a zombie kid is like that or not, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where I think it's going in the next season, is that they're going to find this... They're going to find... damn it. I forgot his name again. Morgan. They're going to find Morgan, and they're going to go to this community place. That's where I think it will go to. But I could be wrong. But yeah, hopefully this will come out before the show starts back up. And then you'll be able to see whether my prediction is right or not. But I guess for now, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I reckon is going to happen in Walking Dead. So until next time, this has been FarCry 4, and actually I think I should probably come up with a name to call you guys. I don't know. I'll figure that out in the next video. But anyway, until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another video.